Today I'm out in the garden and I'm trying a little bit of an experiment with weed control. I read online that you can actually control weeds using vinegar and a little bit of dish soap, and I'd much rather do that than put some type of like Roundup out here into the garden where it could get into the foods that I eat. So that's what I'm going to try today. I'm out here right now and I have my materials. I'm going to take this vinegar. I spent $3 on this. This is for a gallon, and I have a little bit of dish soap, and I'm going to put this into a sprayer. Basically I'm going to fill it up with this and just a little bit of that. The whole reason that you're using the soap is apparently that helps it adhere to the leaves. And it's not too weedy out here. I mean, this is between my rows. You can see here, these are my peppers, and then I got a little bit of weeds here and there, which I usually dig up each week. And these are my beets, which are looking good. But I'm going to go around, kind of around everything like this, and maybe try to take care of some of these. And I thought, we'll shoot it today, and then I'll come back in a couple days and we'll see how it works. But this might be a natural way to kind of control weeds without having to pull them. So let's see how it goes. There, I put about a half gallon of the vinegar in there, and I'll put a little bit of this. I'm not really sure on the measurement, so we'll just give it a nice little squirt in there. And that should be enough, and I think that'll mix up really well. The reason I didn't use all of this is because I think that it's going to require more than one application, so I'll put a little bit on today and then maybe come back out tomorrow. Now, last year in the garden I used straw, and that really didn't work out well for me. All that happened was that the weeds kind of grew up through it. I don't know if I didn't use enough, but it's $3 for a bale of straw around here, and that gets a little expensive when you're trying to do an area that's this big. So I thought, let's give this a shot, and we'll see if we can get this to work with just the $3 investment in vinegar. I mean, it is more expensive than using Roundup or something like that, but it's worth it for me to not have to worry about any of this stuff getting into my food. So I'll use this around the garden, and if it works, maybe I'll just use it all around the rest of the house too. Put the top on, you build up some pressure inside there, and you're ready to go. So I'm just going to spray this on all the weeds out here like this, and hopefully the vinegar attaches to them and kills off all these weeds. And I'm just kind of going to go down each of the rows liberally and spray this until I run out. I just finished putting the vinegar on the garden. I did this whole front section. I did all these paths that go through here around the front, and then I did the back side here as well. And that used that whole half gallon. So I was surprised that it went that quickly. It was easy application. I love the smell, but that uses a lot. And you think about how much vinegar I'd use if I did this whole thing. It'd be several gallons. So it does get kind of pricey, and I'm hoping this stuff works pretty well because I really don't want to put that much money into getting the weeds out of here. I'd probably just go back to pulling them by hand, doing it the old school way. So next clip you'll see will be a few days from now. I'll come back and we'll take a look and see how well this stuff works. If it pretty much eliminates the weeds on one application, I think it's worth doing. But if I have to come back and reapply, I just can't see it. But we'll make that decision here in a couple days. So see you in the future. Here's a little bit of an update for you on the weeds. This is 2 days later, and you can see here these things are starting to die off. I don't know if that vinegar is going to kill them completely, but there's a lot of brownage going on. It's uniform all throughout these. They're all kind of going off the leaves, but I think the roots are still staying pretty strong. I'll update in a couple days here again, and we'll see if this vinegar really does a number on them. Here's a typical weed after 4 days. As you can see, still very much alive. It's got some dead leaves on it, but this thing's just going to keep growing for the most part. That's just after one application, and they're all pretty uniform like that. Here's another one. You can see the dead leaf there, but still alive, and then they're all pretty much the same. So I'm thinking that it would take more than one application of the vinegar to really make this work, and maybe even more than that to really get down to the root and kill these things off. So I don't know if this is really economical, but I'm going to try another application and hopefully kill these things off for good. As you can see, I just kind of let things go for the time being to see if this experiment would work, and it's getting pretty bad. So I'm going to have to probably pull these, but it was worth a shot just to see if it actually worked.